Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to dive into something that, let's face it, most of us have experienced at one point or another. Being in a conversation where someone twists your words. It's frustrating, right? You say something, and then suddenly it's like it's been flipped on its head. You can almost feel your control over the situation slipping away. And before you know it, you're standing there thinking, how did we get here? Now, I'm not talking about a simple misunderstanding. Those happen. I'm talking about when someone deliberately takes what you've said and reshapes it, sometimes to make you look bad or to manipulate the situation. It's not just frustrating, it's draining. So how do you respond? How do you keep your cool and not fall into the trap of getting defensive or frustrated? That's exactly what we're exploring today, and we're going to do it through the lens of Stoic philosophy. If you're unfamiliar with Stoicism, it's a philosophy that's been around for thousands of years, and it offers some incredibly practical tools for handling life's toughest challenges. Whether you're trying to maintain your inner peace or you're looking for a way to handle tough conversations, Stoicism has wisdom that can really help you out. So, let's get into it. Camera zooms in slightly as the host leans forward with a more thoughtful tone. Now, we all know how conversations go. Sometimes someone might take something you've said and twist it in a way that feels completely unfair. Maybe you've been in a debate and your words are taken out of context, or maybe it's someone close to you who's using your words to try and turn the tables. Either way, it's a tough spot to be in. And you know, when that happens, our first instinct is often to get defensive. We want to clarify, explain, and fight back. But here's the thing. If you go down that path, if you start trying to defend every little thing you said, it can quickly spiral. Before you know it, you're more focused on justifying yourself than on actually addressing the situation. This is where Stoicism steps in. One of the key tenets of Stoic philosophy is the idea of controlling what you can and accepting what you can't. We don't have control over how others interpret our words, but we do have control over how we respond. So instead of engaging in a battle over every twist and turn, you can choose a different approach, one that aligns with your inner peace and your values. Let's look at how we can apply Stoic principles in these situations. The host stands and begins to pace slightly, speaking with more energy. First off, let's talk about what the Stoics called the dichotomy of control. It's a simple yet powerful concept. The dichotomy of control means understanding that some things are up to us and others are not. If someone is twisting your words, that's not in your control. You can't control their interpretation, their actions, or their intentions, but you can control how you respond. Let's think about this for a second. How often do we waste energy trying to control things that are completely outside of our grasp? When someone twists your words, the temptation is to try to explain, to justify, to correct them. But honestly, does that ever really work? In most cases, it doesn't. The person who's twisting your words probably isn't interested in understanding. They're more interested in winning the argument or getting their point across. This is where the Stoic practice of keeping calm comes in. Instead of reacting immediately, you can take a step back and choose not to engage in the emotional tug-of-war. Think of Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, who reminded himself daily that he had control over his own reactions, not the actions of others. His philosophy was all about responding with dignity, regardless of the chaos happening around him. The host sits back down, looks directly at the camera, and speaks softly, but with confidence. Now, that doesn't mean you should just let people walk all over you. Stoicism isn't about being passive or letting others take advantage of you. It's about responding in a way that maintains your dignity. The Stoics believed in being firm in your own beliefs, but not getting wrapped up in trying to change the minds of others. In the case of someone twisting your words, the Stoic approach is to remain firm, express yourself clearly, and then let go of the need for validation. You can stand your ground, express what you meant, and then move on. And if the other person is still trying to twist things, well, that's where you take a step back and decide, do you want to continue engaging with this person, or is it time to just walk away and preserve your peace? Think about Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, who said, "We are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them." In other words, it's not the fact that someone is twisting your words that upsets you. It's how you choose to perceive the situation. If you view it as a personal attack or as something that needs to be corrected, you'll get caught up in frustration. But if you see it for what it is, a misinterpretation or even manipulation, you can approach it with more clarity and peace. The host stands again, facing the camera with a more assertive tone. Now, there's also another important Stoic principle to keep in mind, and that's the idea of wisdom in speech. When we're in a conversation, especially a heated one, the Stoics urge us to speak thoughtfully, with intention, and without haste. If someone is twisting your words, it might be tempting to throw back some quick responses to defend yourself. But Stoicism encourages you to take a moment, breathe, and respond in a way that aligns with your values and principles. Think about Seneca, who wrote extensively about the importance of being measured in our speech. He reminded us that once words are spoken, they cannot be taken back. So when you respond to someone who twists your words, do so with clarity, but with control. Don't let the situation drag you into a reactionary place. Instead, focus on delivering your point calmly, but firmly. The host sits back down, adjusting the chair slightly, and speaks more softly now. And here's the final Stoic idea I want to leave you with: self-awareness. Sometimes we're so focused on what the other person is doing that we forget to check in with ourselves. The Stoics emphasize the importance of understanding our own emotions and reactions. So when someone twists your words, take a moment to ask yourself, why is this bothering me? What's the real issue here? Is it the fact that you want to be right, or is it something deeper, like fear of misunderstanding or the desire for approval? The more self-aware you are, the more you'll realize that not every battle is worth fighting. Not every misinterpretation requires your defense, and by recognizing that, you can conserve your energy for the things that truly matter. The host smiles gently at the camera, leaning back in their chair. So to wrap it up, when someone twists your words, remember the Stoic principles. You can't control their actions, but you can control how you respond. Stay calm, speak with wisdom, and above all, don't get caught up in the need to defend yourself. Most importantly, recognize that your peace of mind is more valuable than winning any argument. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope this video gave you some useful insights on how to handle these tricky situations. Remember, you have the power to decide how you respond. Don't let someone else's words dictate your peace. Stay grounded, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.